Hey, it's Chris. What's up? Let's do this. Top crowdfunding games first full week of June. What do we got on the horizon? What do you need to know? And where are things standing when they're coming to us hot and heavy in June? Because the tail end of June is definitely lopsided in that way. I mean, you've got the Frosthaven, Gloomhaven miniatures. You had just the recent announcement of Gloomhaven 2.0. We'll talk about that in the news video coming Monday. A little bit of everything from that aspect of things. Tenaris Ultimate is coming that way. Lacerda's coming later this month as well. But what do we have actually going on this week? It's a little bit lighter. And it's heavily expansion driven because first up, we're going to be talking straight into it, right? We're talking AEGs. Now, I called it a trio previously. An astute Board Game Geek user corrected me. I completely, overlooked. Did a Trumpism or a Bushism there. Forgotten. I completely overlooked the trio was actually a Quatro from AEG Alderac. They're putting out the Cubutos expansion, Foul Play. They're putting out the latest expansion, Genesis from Space Base. They're putting out War Chest. It's like a secret one. I forget the name of that one, but it's a dark black, War Chest cover with Assassin's stealth-like aspects, as well as the last one here, Tiny Towns Architects. And so you're getting a little bit of everything. I mean, those are like AEG's biggest hits all in a nutshell there. And the interesting thing, it appears at least on their graphic on the website, is that they're subsidizing a little bit of price and a little bit of shipping as well, was the latest email announcement that I got in my inbox today. So I think the expansions are something like $19, and the base games themselves, because they're offering bundles apparently too, are like $29. So if you're looking at those games, I mean, $29 for, if Cubutos is $29, I mean, that's a good price for $19 for the expansion. I mean, that's the price of an expansion and the base game for just the base game at retail right now as well. And if you're like me, as my saying always goes with these, you do not back all four. Unless you love all four of them, you do not back all four. You back the ones that you're interested in. Buying more to save more, folks, it's a fallacy. It's a myth. It's a lie to you from trickle-down economics. So don't do it from that aspect. If you're looking like me, though, two of these four, for me personally, are must-buys. Asterisk, caveat there, though, because people always forget, and this is the big point I'm going to make this week, right? Oh, well, I have to support the publisher. I have to support the publisher on crowdfunding. No, you can support the publisher at retail. I just supported AEG at retail last week with their big sale of May going on. Whatever, I bought all of Rolling Heights for less than the Kickstarter people shipped. So you can still support people at retail. It's not exclusive support to crowdfunding. You're not special if you support someone on crowdfunding and someone else supports it at retail. Fallacy. Equivalent. They are freaking equivalent. So for me, Space-Based Genesis is a must-buy. War Chest Expansion, it's a must-buy. But is it going to be a must-buy on crowdfunding, or is it going to be a must-buy at retail? And that's where I don't know. But that is by far and away the one I'm most eager for overall because of those reasons. I mean, Space Base is one of my most played games. It's my wife's favorite game, practically, in our collection. I am 1-26. That's right, folks. I have lost that game 26 times. I've won once. Not very good at it, but I like it. Which means I need to also probably eventually get my copy of Bad Company. I've been having that on my wish list for a while as a different spin-off of that. You can tell me whether or not it's better than Space Base down in the comment section below. But especially with that one, I know that they're just giving more stuff and they're not making it more complex, which is awesome. And War Chest, you're just going to get more mix and match. And I just love abstract like that. So that's a great abstract game in a nutshell. And someday I'll have a review out of that as well. So Cubutos is a whole separate one. I traded Cubutos. I'm probably not going to get this one because this one also adds a 5 to 6 player expansion. I don't need to play it with 5 to 6 players. And then Tiny Towns is a great game that's just not very fun for me. If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying, right? So next up, we also have launching this week is from Game Brewer. We have Stroganov with the expansion / big box of the base game, which led to an interesting little dive into the comment section of the forums on Board Game Geeks, because I've been aware of this issue for a while. The initial production of this, when it came out, when it got delivered to backers, was not what was promised, and people were really upset. And now with some of like the future campaigns, I think it was with Oak that they did over on GameFound, they delivered some of the upgrades. So I think people are like partially satiated there. I'm not quite sure where exactly that stands because I didn't dive too far down into this rabbit hole. But the other issue that is being brought up on the Board Game Geek forums is that this game had some balance issues. One, they found an infinite loop. They found an infinite loop in the game, which that's bad. But then also there is a predominant, much heavier strategy that is just the winning strategy, apparently. Now, again, how much do you play a game like this? How heavy of a game do you play like this? How much of a meta? So if you just play it once or twice and it's going to sit on your shelf for another year before you play it again, probably not going to, utilize that strategy. But if you're one of those people that's going to play these heavy games or heavy worker placement Euro style games repeatedly with the same group, well, yeah, that's a little bit more of an issue then. And, Game Brewer, we've seen kind of these issues with this one. The Philosophical Euro Clinic back in old Greece, healing people. I forget what the name of that one was. It'll come to me in the comment section later. But that was the other one that kind of had some mixed opinions about that they were going to put on an expansion to correct some of the issues or kind of adjust some of the issues as well. And I think we're going to see that sometime in the near future too. But we're going to see where this one goes. I have no idea what the reception is going to be like this, especially because I don't think it's a badly rated game. I don't think it's a badly thought of game. It's definitely unique aesthetic. I love the aesthetic of it and the theme, but I don't know. Is it going to leave a bad taste in people's mouths when that's what's happening with the first time? And again, probably the balance issues are probably a minor thing, but you still see people talking about tapestry balance issues nowadays. And what are we, like 3 years out from that or something? So it never goes away. It just becomes louder or softer depending on where things are at and where the cycle's at overall and where you're looking at social media from that aspect of things. So, that's going to go on no matter what. The other big one is Ice that I talked about at the beginning of the month a couple days ago when I did my top 10 of June that you just need to be aware of. Well, this was originally supposed to be Founders, but now the designers are coming out with a reprint with a little bit of expansion of Ice instead because Ice is still in the production, which again worries me a little bit. It seems like a cool concept. It's more of a worker placement style, digging through actual layers of tiles that they've created a special board for. That's like a little concave bowl-ish feature. But the fact that it's a little bit behind and, these are a little bit newer creators, it does worry me a little bit. It worries me a little bit like the Shadow Tactics thing where, again, I don't like seeing a second campaign for the game that's not already been delivered the first time around yet. That really, giving the benefit of the doubt on this one because there haven't been any total red flags, but I just don't like seeing it, period. So the aesthetic is awesome. I can't wait to see Founders if this one does well in the first place, because Founders is more just, I think, like it was more tile laying-ish, not worker placement. And so worker placement from this style of things, especially when that first crowdfunding came around, they offered like art prints and deluxifications, and I didn't really need that. So I was going to wait till retail anyway to see if Founders appealed to me whatsoever. But we're going to see when it comes back around now. And I'm not sure if that one's launching on GameFound or Kickstarter, so you'll just have to see or look it up in the forum comments with me as well. So that one's going on. Then Ion Game Design has their double one launch that I talked about a couple weeks ago that I completely screwed the date up on, and that's just the combination of Third Crusade and Kartini. Kartini was actually like a Zenobia award winner from like 2021, so it's actually finally getting crowdfunded now. This is a complete game that's based off of women getting education over in Indonesia, and so it just seems like a cool theme. It's a little bit heavier overall, though, I think, because I just saw an interview getting posted or being promoted on social media by Heavy Cardboard, so I'm thinking it's definitely more along the lines of that. And Third Crusade is also like more of a war game heavy-ish style things, and the board on the forums section actually looks absolutely massive. I thought it was going to be like more like Twilight Struggle, like a card head-to-head dueling. No, it's like a massive sprawling area control war game style of design. So definitely both of these are probably going to be not in my element or my repertoire whatsoever, but I'm intrigued to see what the appeal and what the audience is for these as well. And Ion Game Design is putting stuff out all over the place. Everything like this, Station Fall, the Cat in Spaceship one that they did previously. I think that one actually failed to fund, so we're probably going to see that one sometime again in the future once they revamp it. But a little bit of everything here. And this game is exploring the country's struggle with independence from Dutch colonialism, stepping up to the plate with women leading battles and participating in politics to free Indonesia. So again, completely unique, looks way too heavy for me, but we'll see what the gameplay actually looks like and what else there is to know. Last up is Resist's sequel. Got it sitting right behind me right here, in case you were wondering. Review will be out, sometime shortly whenever I get to the editing. But it's a sequel to this. It's called Witchcraft, and I'm assuming if it's anything like this, it's going to be a solo game only. Well, I know it's a solo game only based on the Board Game Geek description. But if you're looking at anything like this, if you are a solo gamer, this is probably the highest recommendation you can make. This is probably one of the best solo games that I've ever played. And I say that as a non-solo person. I also say that this is probably going to be in my trade collection because it's not a game for me. It's super hard. It's super puzzly. And it's going to leave you very frustrated until you play it like 5 or 6 or 7 times, where you can start to get the niche and the knack of how things are going to go together. And sometimes just drawing the right cards at the right time and drawing the wrong cards at the wrong time is going to leave you very frustrated. Now, it plays in about 20 to 30 minutes, so you don't have to worry about too much overhead or too much rules. I mean, I learned it incredibly easy, and I'm a simpleton, so you don't need to worry about it from that aspect of things, but take that for what you will. And if you're looking for it, though, I can't recommend highly enough. If it's anything like Resist in the first place, you should definitely be checking it out. 25th Century Games is putting this one out at retail, so I would imagine something will happen similar. I just don't know what the incentive, again, is going to be to back it on crowdfunding. That's going to be the only question. And this one is actually launching later in the week than all the others. This one's actually launching on the 8th at the end of the week. Stroganov's on the 7th. I think the others are on the 6th. So that's everything that I know of kind of in a nutshell right now. And that's kind of where crowdfunding stands. Again, the following week is going to be even heavier. And then 2 weeks after that is going to be even heavier than that, literally and figuratively speaking. So that's kind of what we got on the radar. Again, too many reviews, too little time. I'll have a news video, I think, on Monday with all of the latest news and upbringings and roundabout coverage of whatever you want to hear about, including the Gloomhaven 2.0 that I talked about earlier. We'll touch a little bit on my feelings on Ticket to Ride, the Legacy version, and the price point that's going to cost you an arm and a leg to get that, as well as I need to get a little bit more of rant and ramble and topical discussion, sort of like I did the Quackalope thing, but this one's going to veer more a little bit towards just the paid side in general and less specific to that channel in a nutshell as well. So that one's going to be an interesting one. I've got to gather my thoughts as well from that aspect and get those on camera, because I like talking about this stuff, as I always say. And I didn't get anything played tonight at the time of me filming this, because instead I spent 20 minutes, 25 minutes almost, singing my 2-year-old back to sleep with the Imperial March. Yes, I still do that. For all of you longtime watchers, viewers, and listeners, that kid still falls asleep to it occasionally. Had to sing to him consistently for about 20 minutes straight, because when I stopped, he started to stir. Yep, there you go. That is what being a dad is, and that's what's important, right? So much more important. Some nights, you do what you got to do, right? Good nights, too. Good nights being a parent. It's probably my best part of my week right now, singing to him tonight. So, yeah, it's a pretty good freaking night just because of that. I got nothing else. I'm keeping track of what I'm watching right now. I've watched a bunch of foreign films, foreign flicks that have won awards overseas. Some of the, not big stuff, but just some of the stuff I looked up, Googling foreign films, top foreign dramas, whatever, Lears, whatever you want to call those sorts of things. So I've seen some good ones. I've seen some ones that I kind of had to stop halfway through because I was like, what the heck is going on? And then I'm watching a Korean drama right now called Happiness from 2021. Very interesting spin on like a zombie side of things, only it's sort of a mutated rabies virus instead that makes people want to drink blood. So it's kind of got some tie in there, but it's also some realism. It's just a very interesting series. I'm about 3/4 of the way through that one too, so I'm very pleased with that. I don't know what I'm going to watch after that, but yeah, it's been good from that aspect. I'm working all weekend, so it's going to be one of those weekends. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. Stay classy. Have a great freaking fantastic day, and you know what? I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you made it this far and you're not subscribed, because there's about 2 of you that probably made it this far anyway. I'm done. I could talk about AEW and wrestling too, but you know what? I just need some more Jay White. We need more Jay White. I mean, I'm okay with Adam Cole. The Elite, I'm waiting for Kota Ibushi. Kota Ibushi, man, he's coming. He's coming. With Takeshida's heel turn right now, they're foreshadowing it all. Kenny did a promo after All Out that was basically saying he has friends coming, and it's going to be a Golden Lovers reunion, if you know what I'm talking about. And it's going to be awesome if they do it the right way. And I think that's what they're doing with Jay White too. They're taking time to build him up. They're taking time to show off his skills, especially on the mic. You just can't have him lose some of these feuds. You can't have him lose stupid feuds. Juice is fine. I don't really have strong feelings about Juice. We'll see where it goes. I'm not a big fan of CM Punk. Nope. I'm not a big fan of CM Punk. In fact, CM Punk, I've lost any interest in him whatsoever. Lost any interest in him whatsoever of watching and being entertained by. And I know he's a draw, but no thanks. No thanks. Really what I want to see is like Seth Rollins versus Will Ospreay. That's what I would pay to see. Or like Seth Rollins unleashed on, a Moxley nowadays. Given free reign. Free reign. See what I did there? Didn't even try and do that. But Kevin Owens just going crazy too is awesome. So just good quality stuff all around. You don't have to be allegianced or subbed to one or the other. You can just enjoy all the quality that's out there nowadays. Now that's all I got here at the end. If you made it to the end and you're not subscribed, man, I feel sorry for you. Stay classy. See you around.